Hello and welcome back. So today we are actually building in the secret hidden world of Sylvan Glade. So we are building a fairy's tiny home. So you will see that I have already started. I have a floor plan figured out, some of the landscaping done. Well, that is because when I started recording this, I had my mic volume on. So you would hear me yelling at my cats and talking to my fiance. So that clip has been removed. And instead, we are starting with this frame. So basically, I was inspired by these mushrooms, which are uh, show live edit objects, that cheat that came out a while back. So that allowed us to have some of the objects that were around the world. So these mushrooms were actually from the Get to Work expansion um, from Planet Sixum, but I just think they look like magical fairy, that whole aesthetic with the pink and the blue and the little bits of green. So I decided to build a fairy tiny house. So on this lot, you actually have to use the cheat to edit non-editable lots. Once you do that, you can't make this a residential lot, so I had to count the tiles myself, but it is 32 tiles, so this does qualify as technically a micro home, even though it can't be a residential lot. And to make this build a little different, we actually do jump into create a sim at the end, and we will make a fairy to inhibit this. And obviously we don't have fairies in the Sims 4, although I think it would be really fun if we did. I apologize. You can hear my cat in the background. He's playing with a piece of garbage that he has managed to hide and keep for months. Because no matter how many toys we get him, he always likes twist ties better. So anyway, back to the build. So we kind of went with, on the outside, kept it pretty modern, and then on the inside, it still is. Oh, I love these floorboards. They're some of my favorites. I struggle to not use them in every build. But inside, I wanted it to have some of the same, like, pinks and blues of the mushrooms and kind of be inspired by, like, a magical fairy princess, right? But I didn't want it to look like a child's dollhouse. Like, I wanted it to look like an adult or a young adult's house. So we do try to keep it kind of modern, some of that mid-century vibe that came with the tiny living house. Here we are putting a roof on. We do end up keeping the glass roof. We just end up dividing it off so it has like some extra structure lines, which I kind of like. I think it makes it look a little more realistic. So now we jump back into the living room, adding some kind of finishing touches to the living room, keeping it pretty white and bright, or pretty pink bathroom. I do really like the way this build ends up turning out. How fun would it be if we had fairies in The Sims? I think that would be a really cool, like, occult group to add. I don't know, I just think that would be a lot of fun with like some really pretty sparkly wings. I add that tapestry in so many builds. I just like it so much. Alright. So we'll see, I actually did add some more mushrooms outside. Kind of wanted to make it look like it helped. I feel like it helped make the house look extra small. Like the mushrooms are so big, it was like, in this mysterious valley. And you will see sneak peeks in my test play sim in there. He's not the sim we end up with in the end. He's just the one that helped me play test all my builds. So I do try pretty hard to put window treatments on these kitchen windows, and I end up leaving them without. I kind of feel like, you know what? She's the only one out here. She's in this hidden world. She wouldn't need window treatments. Now we're just admiring our creation. Oh, and then I add the final touches. So we do have laundry in this pack. There is a hamper next to the toilet in the bathroom. And I do add an outside garbage can and a mailbox to finish it up. And then I realized that I hadn't put foundation on the house yet. So I do add some foundation too. Which does, I think, make the house look a little more rustic overall. Like that stone on the bottom. Like it's still very modern, but it gives it more of like a natural twist that makes it fit in with this environment a little better. So now we're going to hop over into Create a Sim, where we are going to create our fairy sim. So here I am picking out some traits. I decided to make it a fisher because I'm pretty sure even after, because we removed the fishing hole that's like on the buildable part of this lot, but I'm pretty sure there is still fishing in Sylvan Glade, so I kind of thought it would fit. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure there is. So I think the only custom content I use on this sim it ends up being her hair, just because I want it to be one of these fun colors. I like all the extra swatches that come with custom content hair, and we do actually end up coming back to this hair color. I struggled a little bit when I flipped over into like picking her outfits, because I did want her to have lots of like pops of pink, and I was struggling to find swatches that matched, and eventually we make it work. I just switched this dress to white. Although in retrospect, I don't think it looks bad either. But if we try on some other fun colors on her too, this peachy color, some blues, I do think she looks really good with the really light blue as well. Very attractive sim. We didn't modify her a whole lot. I like her giant eyes. I think they make her look a little magical, I guess. I also really like this dress. I can't remember what pack this came from, but I love the way it flows in the front. Like, I think they did a really good job with this one. And as far as like whole put together outfits, they have some nice pretty plain swatches. Like, it comes in one that's white with just denim. This one's the light pink, and we do end up switching to the white. But they just have some nice plain swatches as well as some really pretty patterns, and I dress my Sims in this quite a lot. So we've almost gotten to the point where I pick her final hair. Here I will realize the dress comes in white, and voila. Oh, I love those flowers too. And there it is in white. Very, very pretty. So now we're going to switch back to the pink hair. Look at that. Get her some shoes. I can't remember what shoes I end up putting her in with this. I think maybe some wedges. Yeah, so I think every one of her outfits has like a pop of pink. Because I imagine she has nice pink sparkly wings. So for her nice outfit, I think we did this. I went with some of the things I don't use all that often, but I think that's kind of one of the fun bits of having like occult Sims or Sims that have like not so standard storylines, is you get to use some of the pieces that maybe you wouldn't use all that often. For athletic gear, we kept it pretty simple. I think we end up going with some pink leggings just to get that pop of pink in here, although I do love these sweats that come with the university pack too. Those leggings are just really cute though. But most of her outfits I feel like we keep pretty simple. Like, she's very pretty. She doesn't need a whole lot going on. And I decided that top wasn't just like, it didn't give quite the like ethereal magical vibe enough. There we are. I love the stripes on the back of that, and I feel like the mesh and the mesh go together pretty well. And I think shoes, we just gave her some white sneakers. Alright, so here I am trying to figure out where that sweater came from, because that's one of my biggest pet peeves, is I will like be undressing Sims from what they were automatically placed in and like a piece, but not necessarily like I didn't want that for pajamas. And so trying to remember where that came from so I can find it for a different outfit. So here we are. She dresses pretty casual to go to bed, but she lives by herself, so I feel like she's allowed to do that. Moving quickly on to her party attire. I cannot remember what I did for this. I must have been distracted by my show or something. That's quite the pause. Alright. I like to watch, like, right now I'm watching Sex and the City, or sometimes I watch YouTube while I'm playing The Sims, especially like when I'm building or in Create a Sim. I like to have some background noise. I'd never noticed this top before from, I think, Get Together. And I don't think I end up going with this outfit, but maybe I do. I can't remember. Oh, I think I end up going with patterned pants. I don't know. Using the pink was fun for me because pink is a color that like I really like, but I just don't dress a whole lot of Sims in it. Like, personally, my like everyday real life outfits, I tend to wear a lot of neutrals. And so I think I tend to dress my Sims that way quite a lot too. We have a lot of really cute mini skirts in the game right now. And I feel like that was not always the case. I love how some of the stuff is like actually like up on the waist now, like kind of high-waisted. It's very, very cute, and I feel like realistic for real fashion right now. I do like these light pink pants too, but I think we go away from that. So many cute pink swatches. And of course, I couldn't have made it easy on myself and just filtered by pink. No, have to make it difficult and scroll through everything. I do quite like those patterned pants, and I think that's what we end up going with. I can't quite remember. That skirt's very cute. Since they color-coded all of the packs, I struggle so much with what everything is from. Like, I don't recognize the logos so much. Like, the Parenthood and the Get Together logo get confused in my head all of the time. Like, these shorts are adorable, and I think they're from Get Together. In my head, I thought they were from Jungle Adventure because I wanted to come back to them later for her summer outfit and then just totally couldn't find them, forgot about them. You'll see me later filter by City Living, I think I try, and Get Together. Or not, I never try Get Together. I can't remember. Oh, Jungle Adventure, that's where I thought they were from. We ended up going with this, and I really do like these pants. I think they were fun. And kind of like grown-up Fairy, right? Fairy when she's going into the city and hiding a little bit more. So for swimwear, I actually end up going for this one from Spa Days that I hardly ever put on my Sims. But I thought, you know what, as long as we're doing like kind of an out-of-the-box sim, it's fun to use stuff you haven't used. And I do think it looks kind of like ethereal and fairy-like on her. Are you guys people that like to hang out and create a sim a lot? Sometimes I'll get in a stretch, but normally it's like this. Like I'll make a build and then like while I'm building, I'll get this idea for who the person is that would live there, and then I have to make them. So here I am looking for those shorts. My goodness, I never find them. I end up going with these, which these are really cute too. These are from Jungle Adventure, and I really like the tied belt that goes with them, and I also really do quite like the shade of pink. It's quite nice. And I think I end up going with this tank top, which I don't normally because of the back, but I thought for a fairy it was kind of delicate and pretty. So then for cold weather, I'm going to go back to that sweater I liked so much earlier. The problem is that it doesn't end up matching the boots that I also really like. They look like Doc Martens. They came from the University pack, and they're not quite the right swatch of white, so I think I end up switching to a different swatch on the sweater. I really like those boots. I hate how they clip with pants. Like you can see the white cuff of the pant over the boot. And I don't know a whole lot about animation or coding really at all. But I feel like it shouldn't, I say that, maybe it is hard, but I feel like it shouldn't be that hard to fix. So here I am just giving her a random name, last name Fairy. I do that a lot. And then here's a quick clip of me showing how to get into Sylvan Glade. I think it's pretty common knowledge, or if you don't know, you can of course go hop into the Google machine and figure out how to get there. But here I am just interacting with that tree. I think eventually I change her into her summer outfit because, you know, gotta look festive. And since on this save I've already had a sim go to Sylvan Glade, I don't have to go through the prompts to get in there, like the downstream or upstream and follow the noise or follow the light or whatnot. But if you want like a quick guide for how to do it, just Google it, and some people have lists of the correct answers. So here we are. She got into Sylvan Glade. Enjoy the screenshots.